Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. So today we will start the unit 2 part of the quantum mechanics, that is here we are discussing the core 11 part, and today we will see the operators involved in the quantum mechanics. So let us begin our topic, that is operators. An operator can be defined as it is a mathematical rule, or you can say the procedure which when operates on a function then it will transform it into the another function. So let us write an operator. An operator represents a mathematical operation that transform one function into another. So that is called an operator. Okay. So now let us consider an example. Suppose p cap, it is an operator. So if any arbitrary function, that is the wave function, if I will consider psi of x, then after the operation it will give another function, that is phi of x. Okay. So these are simply the functions psi and phi. For example, if I will say, so let me write the example. Suppose p cap is any operator. Let me write p cap psi of x is equal to, suppose, k psi of x, or you may write f of x. Okay. So this is just the wave function, any arbitrary function. P cap psi of x equal to k of psi of x. Then we can write here the k is a number. Here we can say that k is a number, or you can write p cap equal to k, that is a number. It is simply a number. Okay. Now if I will consider this p cap, any function, suppose psi of x, it is equal to exponential some iota theta of x into the function same, that is the psi of x, and here we can say this function, that is the operator here p cap, that is equal to the function exponential I theta of x. It is a complex number. Here the operator is a complex number. And similarly, if I write, suppose p cap psi of x, this is equal to some d by dx of psi of x, then here we can write the p cap, that is equal to d by dx, that is the differential operator. So here we can write this is a differential operator. So for simplicity, let us consider, suppose in case of if you want to add two number, that is 2 with the 3, then you need an addition operator, that is the plus sign, that after the operation you will get 5. Or if you want to subtract from 3 to 2, that is 3 minus 2 will be equal to 1. So this minus sign, it is an operator. If you want to multiply 3 with the 2, then that is your 6. So you need a multiplicative operator. And if you want to divide, also you can use a division operator. So simply here, in case of the addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, you need the two operand to operate. Okay, so 2, 1, 3, they are known as the operand, and this plus, minus, multiplication, division, these are simply the operators that we are used. But here in this case, that is in quantum mechanics, when we consider an operator, so when this operator, that is p cap, it will operate on the wave function psi, then that psi is known as the operand, and after the operation we will get another function, that is your phi of x here. Okay. Now we will discuss more on this topic. Now let us see what is the linear operator. Now let us consider, let a cap is a linear operator. Let a cap is a linear operator. And for that operator, that is for a cap, there are some conditions, that is, if I write a cap into some constant lambda into psi of x, then that will be equal to simply lambda taken constant here, and after that I will write a cap into psi of x. That is, after taking lambda outside, I have to operate this a cap with the wave function psi, and let me write with lambda equal to constant. Where lambda equal to constant. Okay. Now the second condition is for the a to be the linear operator, then we should follow, that is a cap when there are two wave function, that is suppose psi 1 of x and another function suppose psi 2 of x. When this operator will operate on this, then that will be equal to a cap psi 1 of x plus a cap psi 2 of x. Okay, that is, it will follow the distributive law. Or we can write, or if any constant is multiplied here, if a cap lambda 1 psi 1 of x is present here plus lambda 2 psi 2 of x, this is psi 2 of x, then for that again I have to take this lambda 1 common first, then I will write a cap psi 1 of x, a cap psi 1 of x plus lambda 2 taking outside, I can write this is lambda 2 into a cap psi 2 of x. Okay. Now if this a cap psi 1, if I will write this a cap psi 1 to be after the operation, you know, when an operator operate on a wave function, then this operator p cap, when it will operate on the function psi of x, then it will give another function, that is phi of x. Now also here the function a, the operator a cap, when it will operate on the wave function psi 1, then it will give another wave function, or let me write this lambda 1 is constant, it will be the same, and after the operation I will write this is your suppose phi 1 of x, and here after the operation this will be plus lambda 2 a cap, when operate on the psi 2 it will give suppose phi 2 of x. Okay, or here let me write where a cap psi 1 of x equal to phi 1 of x, and a cap when it will operate on the psi 2 of x, then it will give phi 2 of x. So we can write the linear operator in this way. So these are the two conditions of the linear operator, that is when a constant is being multiplied with an operator, then constant is being multiplied with the wave function, then simply you have to take this constant outside, then that after you can operate this operator with the wave function, and also it will follow the distributive law. Now we will check the squaring operator, that is whether it is linear or not linear. So let us write, suppose if a cap be the squaring operator, if a cap be the squaring operator, then squaring operator means, if I will write a cap, when it will operate on the function psi of x, then it will simply square that function. Okay, so that is called the squaring operator. Or if I will write a cap, that is this wave function is the linear combination of the other function, that is if psi of x can be written as the linear combination of other function, that is psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x, then also we can write this is equal to, simply by operating this a cap operator with the psi 1, that is if I will follow the distributive law, then a cap psi 1 of x plus I can write a cap psi 2 of x, that is the linear operator will follow the distributive law. And on the left hand side, if I will say when a cap will operate on this total function, since a cap is a squaring operator, then I will get the square of the total function. So here I will get the total wave function square, that will be psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x whole square. Okay, and that will be equal to, when this a cap operator will operate on this wave function, that is only the psi 1 of x, since a cap is a squaring operator, then I will get only the square of the wave function psi 1 plus, when I will operate this a cap on the wave function psi 2, since a cap is a squaring operator, then I will get square of the wave function psi 2 square of x. Now you can see the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. Okay, because a plus b whole square is not equal to a square plus b square. So this not equal to this much. Okay, so here, so the squaring operator is not linear. The squaring operator, that is here a cap operator, a cap, is not linear. Is not linear. Okay. Now we will see similarly for the square root. So similarly we can prove the square root operator is non-linear in nature. Now let us start. Now here let us consider, suppose a cap be the square root operator. Now let us write, if a cap be the square root operator, then we can write, that is this this operator a cap, it can be, when operate on the wave function psi of x, suppose, then it will give the square root of that wave function, that is suppose root over of psi of x. Okay, so that is called the square root operator. Now let us write the wave function psi of x when also here also psi of x is the linear combination of psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x. Psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x, that is here we have considered. And also here if I will consider this wave function psi of x can be written as psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x. Then for that, if I will put this value, then I will get, or this can be written as a cap, in place of psi of x I will write psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x, and that will be equal to, if I will take the square root of this, let me calculate first. When we will apply the distributive law, then simply this will be a cap psi 1 of x plus a cap psi 2 of x. That is, if I will apply the distributive law, then simply I can write in this way. Or when I will operate this a cap on this total wave function, that is psi 1 plus psi 2, since a cap is a square root operator here, then I will get the total wave function root over. So here I will write the root over of psi 1 of x plus psi 2 of x whole root over. Okay, and that will be equal to, when this operator a cap will operate on the psi 1 of x, since it is a square root operator, so I will get psi 1 of x root over, plus when a cap operate on psi 2 of x, then I will get psi 2 of x whole root over, since it is a square root operator. Now you can see the left hand side is not equal to the right hand side. That is 4 plus 2 root over is not equal to 4 root over plus 2 root over. Okay, so here we can write, so square root operator is not linear. Square root operator, that is here we have considered a cap, square root operator a cap is non-linear or not linear. Okay. Now let us see the types of operators. Okay, this is the types of operators. So first of all, let us see the null operator. So the null operator, null means 0. Okay, so the null operator, that is suppose n cap, or let me write suppose a cap in general, null operator a cap, when operates, null operator when operates on the operand, reduces it to 0, reduces it to 0. That is, if any operator a cap, that is the null operator, when operates on the function suppose psi of x, then that will goes to 0, or we can say, or the a cap is equal to 0, or that is called a cap equal to 0, because the wave function cannot be 0. So here this operator is 0, or this is just 0 cap, or this is sometimes written as 0 cap, that is called the null operator. Now the next, let us see the unity or identity operator. Okay, so the unity or the identity operator, let me write the unity operator, that is I cap, when operates I cap when operates on the operand, or we may say the function on the operand, or the function the value of the function remains same. The value of the function remains same. The value of the function remains same. So that is called the identity operator. Or if I write, that is, if I will write the operator I cap when it will operate on the wave function psi of x, then after the operation I will get the same function, that is psi of x, then that is called the unity operator or identity operator. Then we can say, then this ik value will be equal to 1. That is, you can see here, if you will compare the left hand side with the right hand side, then psi of x is on the right hand side, it is being multiplied with the 1. So simply I can say that the operator, when it will operate, it will give the value, that is the operator value will be equal to 1, and later I will discuss that value is known as the eigenvalue. So here simply you just remember that for the identity operator the ik value will be equal to 1, and here the operator is simply denoted by, you can see, for any operator, that is in general, just forgot to tell you. So for any operator, when you will write suppose a, any variable, then when you will consider that this a is a operator, a is an operator, then simply you have to put this sign, so that is called the hat, or that is called the operator. Okay, so for the operator the sign will be a cap. This is read as a cap. Okay, now the next, the inverse operator. So now let us see the inverse operator. So the inverse operator, the inverse operator, so if I write the inverse operator to be any operator, like suppose b cap, when operates on a function, phi of x, suppose where this phi of x equal to, a cap psi of x. Okay, that is when a cap operate on the psi of x, then it will give the phi of x. Then it will return to, that is this b cap, when operate on the phi of x, then it will return to the original function, that is psi of x. Okay, so for example, if I'll write, that is, if this b cap phi of x, it will operate, that is b cap when operate on the phi of x, then that will be equal to psi of x. Then this is called the inverse operator, that is b cap is called the inverse operator. That is here, then we can write b cap will be equal to a cap inverse. Okay, because you know here phi of x equal to a cap psi of x. So here you can write, in this place you can write b cap phi of x will be equal to b cap, in place of phi of x if I write, this is your a cap psi of x. This is only possible when I will write b cap to be a cap inverse, that is if I write b cap to be a cap inverse, then a cap inverse into a cap psi of x, that is a cap inverse into a cap, that will goes to 1, that is simply equal to psi of x. That is when the operator b cap, when it will operate on the function phi of x, then after the operation, since phi of x is the function of, here the phi of x is the, when a cap operate on the psi of x, then you will get phi of x. Okay, so when b cap phi of x, it will operate, that is b cap when operate on the phi of x, you will get the original function, that is psi of x, and that is called the inverse operator, that is B cap is known as the inverse operator. Okay. Now the next is singular and non-singular operator. So first of all, for the singular operator, if the reciprocal of an operator, does not exist, then it is called singular operator. That is, for example, if I will write for any arbitrary function psi of x, if I will write a cap, any operator, that is singular operator, suppose a cap psi of x equal to 0. So let us consider any operator a cap when it will operate on the psi of x, then that is equal to 0, where psi of x is not equal to 0, then when the singular operator but b cap phi of x equal to psi of x. Okay. So here then the b cap is called the singular operator. B cap is called the singular operator because no reciprocal of b cap exists. No reciprocal of b cap exists. Now similarly, if I will say for the non-singular operator, so for the non-singular operator, if the reciprocal of an operator exists, then it is called non-singular operator. Okay. So for example, if I will write, suppose a cap into b cap. Okay. And that is suppose the identity I cap, and also we can write b cap into a cap. So here I cap is the unity operator. Okay, this is the unity operator. Now for this case you can see we can write a cap inverse, that is equal to b cap, or we can write b cap inverse is equal to a cap. Then for that case, that is when the inverse of an operator will be the another operator, that is b cap, that is the reciprocal of an operator when exists, then that is called the non-singular operator. Now the next is the Cartesian coordinate operator. So these operators are represented by x cap, y cap and z cap and so on. Okay, they are represented by x cap, y cap, z cap corresponds to x, y, z coordinates respectively. That is, for example, if I write respectively. Okay. For example, if you write x cap psi, then it will give the same x into psi. That is y cap psi, again the y psi, z cap psi, the z psi, and so on. So these operators are also called the position operator. These operators are also called as the position operators. Okay. Now let us see what is the time operator. So for the time operator, that is the time operator when operates on a wave function psi, then the function is simply multiplied by the time. Let me write the time operator when operates on a wave function, let me write on a wave function psi suppose, then the function psi is multiplied by time. Then the function psi is multiplied by time. So we can write t cap psi, that will be equal to t psi. So that is called the time operator. So the linear momentum operator, it is simply, if I will write for the x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate respectively, first of all let me write for the x coordinate, that is for the x component, px cap equal to minus ih cut dou by dou x. Or this can also be written as, if I will multiply iota in the numerator and denominator, I can also write this as h cut divided by I dou by dou x. This also can be written in this form. That is, you can see here, if I will multiply iota here and iota here, so this I square is your minus 1. So I can write this is your minus iota h cut dou by dou x. Okay. So let me write this px cap equal to minus I h cut dou by dou x, or simply this is equal to h cut by I dou by dou x. You know h cut, this is your h cut and its value is your h by 2 pi. Okay. And similarly for the y component, py cap will be equal to minus I h cut dou by dou y. And for pz cap, this is equal to minus I h cut dou by dou z. So these are the linear momentum operator. So in general, this is also can be written as h bar by I dou by dou y, and also this can be written as h cut by I dou by dou z. Okay. So in general we can write, or this can be written as, this is equal to p cap equal to minus I h cut into the delta operator. Okay, this is your minus I h cut into delta. That is, if this operator p cap, it will operate on the wave function psi, we can write, let me write here. So we can write px cap psi, that is equal to minus I h cut dou psi by dou x. Okay. Or this is equal to, we can write px psi, that is the operator has the value minus I h cut dou by dou x. Or also for general expression we can write p cap psi will be equal to minus I h cut delta psi. This is your minus I h cut delta psi. Okay. This is the linear momentum operator. Now we will see the kinetic energy operator. So the linear momentum operator is simply minus I h cut delta. Now we will see the kinetic energy operator. The kinetic energy operator, that is your t cap, let me write t cap psi, that is equal to minus h cut square, that is equal to minus h cut square divided by 2m into delta square. Okay. So this is your kinetic energy operator. Or simply this is let me write t cap equal to this much. This is the kinetic energy operator. Now if I let t cap psi, that is when this operator will operate on the wave function psi, then this will be equal to, we can write this is equal to minus h cut square by 2m into delta square psi. Why? Because you know kinetic energy, that is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. Half mv square is your kinetic energy. Okay. If you multiply m in the denominator and the numerator, then this will be m square v square divided by 2m. And you know the linear momentum equal to mv, or simply we can write it as p square divided by 2m. So this is our kinetic energy. Now if I write this as the kinetic energy operator, then this t cap will be equal to p cap square by 2m. And you know p cap equal to minus I h cut delta. So this is equal to, since minus I h cut delta is the linear momentum operator, so this is whole square divided by 2m. Now if I will write, this minus square will be plus and I square will be again minus h cut square into delta square divided by 2. So that is the kinetic energy operator. So this kinetic energy operator equal to minus h cut square by 2m delta square, or T cap psi, that is when this kinetic energy operator, it will operate on the wave function psi, then we will get minus h cut square by 2m delta square psi, or that is equal to, simply from this expression also we can write this is a 1 by 2m p cap square psi. Okay, that is the kinetic energy operator. Now we will see the potential energy operator. This is simply V cap of R, that is the potential of energy operator psi, that is equal to V of R into psi. This is called the potential energy operator. Now the next is the total energy operator. The total energy operator, it is E cap equal to IH cut dou by dou T. So this is the total energy operator. Or if I will operate this energy operator with the wave function psi, then this will be simply equal to IH cut dou psi by dou T. Okay, this is the total energy operator. Okay, and that is equal to also E psi. E cap psi equal to E psi. Now the last one, that is the Hamiltonian operator. So what is the Hamiltonian operator? Because you know this Hamiltonian is nothing but the sum of the kinetic energy plus the potential energy. So here the kinetic energy operator plus potential energy operator will be the Hamiltonian operator. And you know the kinetic energy can be written as p square by 2m. So this will be p square by 2m, that is p square operator by 2m, plus this will be potential energy operator. Or also if I will write h cap psi, that is when this Hamiltonian operate on the wave function psi, then this is equal to, you know, p square operator equal to minus h cut square by 2m into delta square. So here if I will write that, that is minus h cut square divided by 2m into delta square, and here the wave function psi plus v cap psi, or that is after the operation I will write this is your v psi, and that is known as, that is equal to this minus h cut square by 2m delta square plus v, that is combinedly can be written as E into psi. Okay, so that is called the Hamiltonian operator. So this is all about the operators and the type of operators. So if you have any doubt, can ask me in the comment section. This is all for today. Thank you all.